Hello, everyone. How's it going? This is immigration attorney Moumita. I hope everyone has had a good weekend and is having a great day. I wanted to talk to you today about one of the most commonly asked questions that I've been getting, which is how can I get a work permit or a green card if I am married to a US citizen or to a resident? Now, this is a very great question because many people are here, they're married to either a citizen or resident spouse. And they've been wondering, how is it possible for me to get a work permit and to get a green card? Now, there are mainly three different ways that you can get a work permit and a green card if you are married to a US citizen or to a green card holder. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the three main ways to get a green card and also the various type of problems that people might have. The main way that a lot of people like to do this is if they have a legal entry, then they can just go ahead and do what is called the adjustment of status process. The adjustment of status process is the green card application that you do while you are here in the US, and it does not require you to leave the US. However, in order to do the adjustment of status application, you do need to have a legal entry into the US. Now, what happens if you don't have a legal entry? So, if you are married to a US citizen or to a green card holder and you're having marital problems, then it is actually possible to self-petition for a green card without having to leave the US. And even if you have a deportation order, sometimes even if you have been told that you can't get a green card unless you live outside the US for 10 years, it is sometimes possible to get the work permit and green card despite that. Now, this definitely requires a little bit of an analysis into your case, but some examples of marital problems that you might be encountering is if your spouse, whether it's your husband or your wife, they keep going through your phone, they're always controlling how much money you can spend, they ask you where you've spent your money, they ask you where you've been all the time, they go through your social media, or they do other things that make you feel that you're kind of under their control, then it is possible for us to look into the self-petition option. Now, this is a really great way to get a green card because, again, it does not require you to leave the US. Now, another way to get a green card is if you are married to a citizen or resident and you don't qualify to do that self-petition, then we can do what is called a waiver. A waiver is also commonly known as the perdón, and for this, what we have to do is we have to show that your spouse would be suffering a lot without you here, and they also cannot go back to your home country to live with you there. And through this, we get the waiver approved, and you would also have to go to the consulate in your home country to get processed for the visa in your passport. Now, as we know, most people don't, once you've been here, it can be definitely risky to go outside to leave because if you don't get approved outside of the consulate, then you might be stuck for several years. And nobody wants to take that chance. So what I like to do is I like to see if it's possible for us to do the second option, especially if you don't have the legal entry. Okay. And now another main question that I get a lot is, I'm not married to a citizen, I'm not married to a resident. Is it still possible for me to get a green card if I have an adult US citizen child? Now, again, it may be possible, and what we do is we look to see if you can qualify to do the self-petition through your adult child. Again, this is actually not done directly through your child, but if you've had any sort of problems, with your son or your daughter, where they've been disrespecting you or giving you a hard time, or you just feel like you can never control them, you can never raise them in the way that you think is proper. This is something that we can explore to see if it's possible to do the self-petition for you. So definitely you need to talk to an attorney if you're in any of these situations because it is always very, very important to have a good lawyer who knows the law and the rules and the various applications of it in order to help guide you through the process and help you get that work permit and help you get that green card because we know how important that is in order to live life here in the US. All right, so, and if again, always remember that if you would like a consultation on your case, you can call me at 212-248-7907. You can even book an appointment online directly through my website. So I'm going to go ahead and take some questions. Just to let you know, I am live streaming to 4 different platforms right now. Amir, hi, how are you? Nice to see you here. Sunny, nice to see you. I am seeing a lot of people here. Okay, so I have a question here from Monica Hartley, who's asking, who is eligible for an adjustment of status waiver? So this is a great question, Monica. Most of the times, the most common waiver that people file with an adjustment of status application is on the form I-601. And for this, you do need to have the qualifying relative of a spouse who is a citizen or a resident, or a parent who is a citizen or resident, okay? Unfortunately, children do not qualify for this waiver, okay? All right, so I have a question from Sunny who's asking, a self-petition is pending over 22 months. Is this normal? So what I would say, Sunny, is that a self-petition on average, at least in my office, it takes me about 18 months just for the self-petition part, but then you do have to wait for the green card portion, which is separate, and that can definitely push your whole processing time over into the 2-year mark. I know, for example, here in New York City, where most of my cases are, my clients might wait up to 1 year for an interview for the green card. So 22 months may be normal. I would say for the actual self-petition portion, usually we see about 1.5 years for that to be processed. Fernanda, hi. Coco, hi. Okay, so let's see what other, I have another question from Jojo Cordero who's asking, my C8 interview got canceled last July, and I have to renew my work permit next year, August 2020. Okay, so that's good. You do have time on your work permit then, Jojo. As far as the interview, I don't know when people are going to be seeing their interviews. Okay, so I'm going to take some questions here from Instagram and from TikTok, my favorite. Let's see. So give me a second if I can't get to all of your questions, because I get lots of questions on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, so somebody's asking, what's going on with DACA? All right, so what's going on with DACA? DACA, you know, all I can say is that until we get a new president in the White House, we're not going to see a lot of news or a lot of positive news about DACA or TPS, unfortunately. So that's the most that I can say right now for that. Let's see what else I have. I have a question from, what's the difference between a 32-year-old female and a 19-year-old man to marry for a green card? So here's the thing. You can have an age difference if you're, whether you're a man or a woman, you can have a big age difference. I've definitely had many clients where, let's say the wife was maybe 10 or 15 years older than the male. And sometimes even the male might be like 20 years older than the wife. And vice versa. There could be lots of big age differences in same-sex relationships as well. And the key is that age doesn't matter until it does. And what you have to do is, you have to be able to prove every single aspect of your relationship. So if you're married, even if your age difference is small, or even if your age difference is very large, you need to be prepared to be able to answer questions about your spouse, about your husband or your wife, and show that you're living together, show that you've intertwined your life together. That is what the government calls it. They want to see that you have commingled your lives together financially, socially, in every single way possible. So at the end of the day, yes, of course, they might give you a little bit of a harder time if you have a very large age difference between you and your spouse, but you can still show that you are living a life together, that you love each other, and that you are in a relationship. So age is just a number, but make sure you cover all of your bases. All right, let's see. Hi, I'm seeing a lot of friends. Okay. I have a question from Baz who's asking, hi, I'm on the J1 visa with a 2-year, the 2-year rule does not apply. What are the possible options to stay in the US? So if you, it doesn't matter which visa you're on, thankfully doesn't sound like you have that 2-year home residency requirement. And if that's the case, then the traditional options of staying here would apply. Usually you're going to be looking through staying here through a spouse or, a parent or a child if they're 21, or you do it through employment, or we look at other options such as T visas, U visas, or asylum. For those, you don't need to have a sponsor per se. However, you do need to have other facts in your case. So Baz, if you need, give me a call so I can help you explore what your options are. Okay, so I have a question from Baby Girl on TikTok who's asking, if an LPR mother sponsors her overage son who overstays his visa, will he have to go home? Okay, this is a very important question. So if you are just a green card holder and you have, or even if you're a US citizen, if you have a child who's 21 or above, then they're no longer considered a child. They actually end up going into a different category. And if you're trying to petition for them while they are here in the US to get a green card, then it may not be possible to actually do that adjustment of status process because they're no longer in valid status. And what they would instead have to do is they would have to return home to do consular processing. For that, depending on how many years they actually overstayed, they might need a waiver. So Baby Girl, it really depends on your facts. Please give me a call if you want to discuss your case. Okay, let's see who else I have. Rich Keller, hi, how are you? Okay, so Armando's asking, hi, can I get my green card if I cross the border 2 times? Okay, Armando, this is a very important question that I actually get quite a lot. So if you recall at the beginning of this live broadcast, I started talking about the self-petition process. If you are having marital problems, then it is possible to get a green card that way. If you have crossed the border 2 times, there are many things that need to be looked into your case, such as whether the crossing was related to your relationship in some way, or if it wasn't, and also what years you crossed. If your crossings occurred before April 1st, 1997, that's key. That's a key date for everyone to know. If your crossings happened before April 1st, 1997, then you may not have a problem, okay? But you still need to qualify for one of the type of reliefs that are available to you. So Armando, feel free to give me a call. Okay, so let's see. Tristan Mora is asking, what if I have DACA? Do I have to leave the US? So Tristan, this depends. This depends on what you qualify for with or without, irrespective of whether you have DACA, what do you qualify for? If you're trying to, if you're married to a US citizen or to a resident, again, we will look at those 3 different ways of getting you a green card. Depends on how you entered the US, what age, and so many different things. So you may need to leave, you may not need to leave. But I always look first to see if I can qualify my clients for getting a green card without having to leave the US, because I know how important it is to not be separated from your families, all right? So that is why I look at other options first. Gurpreet Singh is asking, what about the U visa card? I'm applied for the green card in January 2021. Okay, that's Gurpreet, that's great. That means that you have had your U visa for at least 3 years. You don't need to leave the US for that, but you need to make sure you qualify for everything else. There's a certain number of days you have to be in the US in order to apply for the adjustment of status through the U visa. Okay, so Ishni Awal on Instagram is asking, how is the Asylum Office doing in terms of recently filed application interviews? So I wish I knew, we filed several applications and we're still waiting on interviews. And I think what's going to happen is that if you have filed for asylum, your interview is going to take a long time. And some of the offices are doing the interviews in a very interesting way. They're actually doing video interviews while you're inside the asylum office, where the officer sits in one room and you sit in another room with your attorney, and you basically teleconference the interview. So that's the biggest change that you should be aware of. And again, everything in the government is slowed down, right? Almost everything is slowed down, except for a couple of things. So everyone's going to have to wait for pretty much everything a little bit longer. Okay, let's see. So Ablavi Ahyakpour is asking, do you help students in the US who won the DV lottery and are living legally in the USA? Ablavi, that's a good question. I'm actually trying to focus on just certain type of cases, but give me a call. Maybe I can help you. And if I can't help you, then I will refer you to somebody that I trust to help you do your case, okay? All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you to all of my clients and to my friends who have joined in to say hi. I hope you found this information very valuable. please feel free to share. And also, please make sure that you subscribe to my page, my YouTube page, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever there's social media, you're gonna find me there. Because I'm on a mission to help spread as much immigration information and news as I can. So every time you watch me, it really encourages me to keep on coming back. And yeah, I love to see familiar faces. All right, I hope everyone has a great day.